we're here at the London International Film Festival 2017. I'm about to interview actor Miguel from the short film Cherry Pop. Welcome
feature
to
film.
Feature film. Cherry Pop.
Yeah.
Welcome to London.
Thank you for having me.
So we're having a brief conversation just then. So the film is from Asad Yaqub.
Yes.
But it's developed from a screenplay from Nick
Landa, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your knowledge of how the story came to be, and then tell us about the story.
Yeah. Well, I'm an actor on the film, so I'm kind of on the other side. But Asad and Nick developed a short film a couple years back, and they did really well with that. And the idea to develop a feature came about because the idea was so juicy and the characters are so funny and so deep in many ways that Asad wanted, and Nick as well, wanted to develop it into a feature film. So the opportunity arrived and they did a new casting.
Don't often get that though, that's the thing. You don't often get, we see a lot of films at our festivals, it's just, oh, I've got a short film, I'm hoping I can make it into a feature.
Yeah.
Very rarely happens. So what was the transition period of short to then?
I'm thinking 2 years.
Okay.
I might be wrong. Asad will have to correct me, but I'm thinking 2 years. I wasn't involved in the short film.
Right.
I came in later for the actual feature. So my process was different than their process.
Of course.
So I remember, I know, the storyline changed, but the idea of getting into a drag queens club and realize that you can feel like an outcast in a world of outcasts. Could be very interesting.
Yeah, that's a very interesting concept.
It's a comedy, but it has layers that are very interesting to just, anyone.
All society, of course, because that's the thing. People are fearful of being judged, drag queen. I mean, it's not the first. We had a film a few years ago called South Beach on Heels, and which covered the drag queens on South Beach, and obviously now to tell the story of that world, as it were. So must have been difficult for you to have been cast, given there was already an expectation from the short, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the way I got cast into this project was already interested enough. I got a call from a friend who's a producer and telling me that they had a table read for this film and that they needed someone to, take over a role that could speak a little Spanish. The Latina drag queen, right? So I literally was free that day in LA. I drove to the studios where we had the table read. I met all the actors. I met Asad, the writer Nick, and whatnot. And I just honestly made a cold read of a script. It wasn't even an audition. Like I wasn't auditioning for a part. I just made a choice. I committed to it.
I'm just going to do it, and we'll see. And I'm either going to turn around and walk out and go, well, that was a drive, or something's going to come from it. So
and the way I try to lead my life, Dan, is like I try not to have expectations. Like sometimes you just you have to do nice things for other people.
Yeah.
I was able to help out a friend who needed help from a friend. In this case, Asad, they needed someone to read for the part. I went in, I had fun, and I left. And I think it was probably 3 months later.
Really?
But I got a call from Asad and Nick, and they told me, look, like we have to be honest. We didn't, casting all over, and we just can't get you out of our heads. Like we just really love the way you embodied Teresa, like this fun Latin character. So of course, I was humbled by it, and then he's like, do you want to do this film? And this was a Thursday, and I started filming on a Monday. So you can understand, I told him, I was a little nervous because I'm like, of course I'm an actor, but I had never done drag.
No, of course.
And it's not something you approach lightly.
No, it's not. It's not a case of I'm doing a film and I've got to be the tough boyfriend or whatever roles you're going to be playing. This is a new persona.
Yeah, it's a new persona, a new voice, a new way of movement.
Yeah,
I had to dance, I had to lip sync, I had to, be in these crazy outfits. The heels, I mean, they were like 8-inch heels. So you can imagine that was a challenge on itself. But I love the fact that I said yes.
It could have been completely different. Had you said, no, I was just doing a favour, I don't fancy it, sorry, then it could have been completely different. So it was just a fortunate role that fell into your lap.
Yeah.
What was obviously I know you said the challenging bits about it, not from the character side, the shoot and everything, was it dark and difficult in the sort of the bar areas? How was for you as an actor?
It was very interesting because I came out of it, Dan, with a lot of respect to the people doing drag, to the people that are so committed to their character, to their persona, because as an actor, I came in, I got the makeup done every morning, got the clothing, got into character, and of course there was a challenge to it. But in the end, I left the wardrobe and I came out as Miguel. Like, I came on to my life. But these ladies that I was working with, not only are they really well known in the States,
right,
because of what they do, which are amazing, they're so committed to who they are, and it's almost kind of like you cannot divide the drag queen from the person, from the guy.
If anything, the drag queen is probably 80% of who they are, or if not more, and then it's just 20% of being the guy. And often, sometimes people do that because they don't like the guy.
Yeah,
they prefer.
And
Teresa,
that, I think, I'm not saying that's true for them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But what you're saying is true, because I feel like there's a very dark layer and an undertone of someone who walks into this path of being a drag queen. At least from my experience, from what I sensed, from what I researched in the brief time I had, there's usually a level of darkness that's interested. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's not. But
it's escapism, and obviously then you look and it's completely different. Say if I was going to bring into Sacha Baron Cohen, who has portrayed Ali G, Borat, the dictator, lots of different, Bruno, lots of different characters. It's a case of escapism because maybe they're not happy with who they are. When you bring drag into it, straight away it's like sexuality is immediately there.
Yeah.
How difficult? I'm just going to say difficult. Like the drag queens, how would they find it in terms of everyday society? Are they, because as you said, it's an unknown world what they're going into. How do you think they cope though in the day-to-day worlds of interacting with people?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I know them just from the film. I didn't have a personal friendship with them, so I couldn't really answer that in their daily lives.
Right.
I do know some of them have regular jobs.
Right.
And then eventually it's 6 p.m. and they go into drag and they do their shows, because most of them are really successful drag queens, you know?
Of course, yeah.
So most of them only did that and then just lead a normal life as a son or whatever. But some of them, I do know they do have jobs and they come out as a guy and then at night they become this persona. So I think there's escapism, there's a layer of darkness, but I also think that in general comedy then, I think there is darkness in comedy.
Oh, of course,
it's such a release. I feel like as actors, as comedians, it's like we make fun of ourselves sometimes in order to ease the pain. You know?
So, and film's a massive tool for escapism, isn't it, as well itself, of obviously what's happening in America, what's happening elsewhere. Let's watch a film, let's immerse ourselves, let's tell the rest of the world to piss off and just focus on this. And obviously a comedy based on obviously this kind of thing. So what were the, how was obviously Assad and the rest of the crew in terms of to work for you?
Oh, they were amazing. They really were amazing because first of all, the crew was fantastic. They were obviously the first ones there, the last ones to leave. It's always such an important part of the film, and it sounds cliche, but you can't do a film without a great crew.
No.
That's just your support and your spine.
And if they've not got the determination and passion, then you're going to, if you rock up and go, I'm good to go, where's Assad? Oh, he's not here.
Yeah.
You're going to go, what, does he care?
And that's the thing about filmmaking, is like every part of that production is it has such importance to the puzzle, you know? And Assad was a great director because he was also very open to improv.
Right, okay, I was going to ask that. I was going to say to you,
Yeah, so a lot of things that you see in the film, you know, of course, you're following Nick's words, you know, you're following a screenplay, but however you felt free enough that you were able to say something or express yourself in a way that was not in the script, and that was amazing because
it
sometimes
shows the character creation. So did you read the entire screenplay before you got, or mind you only accepted the job on the Thursday, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I had not read the script until I got to the table read. So I literally was just like highlighting what I had to say for Teresa whenever Teresa came to it.
Yeah.
I experienced the script firsthand on the table read, and then eventually I got offered the role 3 months later. So then I got the script and then I studied it.
This isn't a bad thing, but you weren't, I guess you weren't in the right mentality, but having read the script at the table read, why didn't you beg for that role?
Because I thought he was cast. I mean, I was just there to help out because an actor wasn't able to make it to the table read.
Right.
That's the info I got. So in my mind, it was not an audition. It was honestly, I was just helping out.
You were doing a favor. And
exactly. I wasn't going to be there like, oh, I would really like to play this. Like, in my mind, the role was already cast.
Gone. So you didn't even think, and I guess obviously it's in hindsight, you didn't go, look, I'm guessing it's a cast. Is there any other roles? You just went, table read, see you later, done, 3 months later. What?
Yeah. It was literally like that. And
yeah.
I have to tell you, sometimes you think you're going in for a smaller project than it really is.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was helping a really young director, you know, who I knew was very smart and talented, but like, you know, a friend had asked me to read for this project in LA. There's projects like this, smaller and bigger, every day of the week.
Yeah, of course.
It's just very lucky that you fall into a project where not only the director and the writer wants you to be part of it, but that you enhance this persona that it's such a challenge as an actor. Because sometimes you do get typecast, especially starting out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, where it says, like, role. So would you say this has been your most challenging role, and is it something that if someone said, we're doing a sequel, or...
Well, there's plans, hopefully, to develop a TV show.
I was going to say, if it's a TV show,
yes.
Again... yes.
Yes.
Yes. TV series, or, again, a sequel to a film, it's going to be a case of it wouldn't work. You could bring in a lot of new characters, follow Teresa and then other characters each week, as it were. Would you go sign me up now to that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the one who told the director, like, I miss her. I miss playing this role because I feel like I also felt that my character was in a way the most underdeveloped, because when Nick and Assad developed this project, every other queen existed already. So it's easier to write for someone who's already there than for someone who's not a drag queen, who's just like started as a comedic relief and developed into something really interesting, I feel. So
were the others improving as well then, obviously, as they're not actors? You were one of the main actors? I mean, the thing is, we were all main actors because we all have such a special place in that bar. Yeah.
It was me and Lars Berg who plays this guy who's the outcast on the film, and he's an actor as well. He's a very talented guy, and it was his first experience in drag as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, okay.
So him and I had this interesting relationship where we're like, we're playing, like, we're
How
getting
the heels today, and all
the we were like both trying to do our best, and you know, but it was definitely a supportive set.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Which you need. So about yourself then, Miguel, how's your journey gone from getting into the industry? Tell us a little bit about day one, years ago. Yeah.
I started as an actor in Mexico City. I'm from Mexico City originally, so I started doing commercial work. But in the beginning, it wasn't like my family really supported me being an actor. So
they wanted you to get a proper job, yeah?
Of course. It wasn't even that, it was just, I was always an artist since I was little, so I knew I wanted to do it. But when you're a kid, if you don't have your parents' support to really take you to castings or do whatever, there's not much you can do, right? So it wasn't until I graduated and I went to Boston to study acting and journalism, so I'm a journalist as well, that I decided, you know, this is it. And I, you know, started pursuing it, went to LA. I'm gonna make it super short. Was in LA for a year. My visa ended up, I had to go back to Mexico City for 5 years, got an artist visa, went back to LA, now transitioned into green card. And I say that because it's been such a process and a journey to stay in LA. And not only that fight, but then the fight of actually being an actor in an industry which is so busy and it's,
you know. You've got to, so you your family, are they still in Mexico City?
Mexico City and Spain, yeah.
Mexico City and Spain. Obviously, again, it takes a lot to be able to say, I'm pursuing my dreams.
Yeah.
I'm walking away from you. Like, that's a lot. But then going back home for the 5 years, after being in LA for a year, you could have gone back home and gone, I know I need to be here, but you didn't. It was the other. You were like, no, I need to be in LA.
I didn't, because there's something always calling me back to LA.
Yeah.
I feel like I am barely scratching the surface of what I actually can accomplish, if it makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
And I feel like even though I love Mexico City and there's great work there and my family will always be there, they have their life, but I have mine, and mine right now is to pursue it somewhere else.
Pursue it and do something else.
Yeah.
So you done obviously the journalism, went to LA. What was your first role and how did that come about?
I think my first role was actually selling machines to shave yourself with like a laser.
Oh, really?
I swear to God, I got paid like $200, and I had to, you know, use this like shaving machine.
Like, it's amazing.
It's amazing. Take it in your bag. I mean, I really started like that, and I started as an extra as well. I did a lot of shows. I did Will and Grace. I did Belated. I did CSI. Like, I did all these great shows. So I was on set.
So you're on big proper production sets.
Yes.
In the background, just pulling faces as if to go, I've got a screen presence.
I was like the friend, and I was like the park and the picnic goer, and you know, but you have to start that way, then. Like, that's the thing. Like, being on those sets has made me so much more hungry for it, and also appreciative, because now that I start to book main roles, and trust me, I'm still starting out, but like the roles that I'm actually getting now as a principal makes me feel so much more grateful that I started as the extra that was sitting there for 8 hours, you know?
As opposed to then when you look at Hollywood people, you're going to say, well, he probably did with the commercials, but did Leo DiCaprio? Even he was beginning as younger on commercials, then all of a sudden now, and where his screen power is.
This one night sensation kind of thing does not exist. Like, everybody has a background, everybody started somewhere. It's just some people get the chance of a lifetime sooner than some others later, so let's hope sooner.
Well, that's the thing though, you could still be working in this industry, and as you plan to be, you don't plan on going, oh, I'm done with this now, but working in some capacity, and say if Cherry Pop rolls onto a TV series and you're involved, that's going to be a nice steady line of work which is going to help increase your profile as an actor, and then obviously other things
go from there.
And go from there. Is there any role that I guess you never envisaged being a drag queen?
Never. I think that this has been the most surprising role.
Surprising role.
This one, and last year I did a short film. We also did the festival circuit, and I played, it was a very interesting, I won't go into it, but I played the bad guy.
Right, okay.
I played like the
villain. You can play a bad guy, you're too nice.
I guess so, but I always just get typecast as the friendly guy or the nerd or whatever. It's true. So it was surprising as well, but the drag queen thing never crossed my mind.
If you could do one role as such, or one sort of genre of film, what? Because you're a funny guy, you've got enthusiasm and passion and that, and obviously then the comedy side. I guess being in the bar, you're thinking, I could be Tom Cruise, I could have done Cocktail. Then you're like,
I don't have the body for it.
But
what
yeah,
type of role?
I know, it's putting you on the spot. And
it is, but it's fine. It's
the one that gives you my
comedy.
millions.
I really love comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy, I feel like I could potentially see myself in a television series like a Will and Grace, like something very physical. I love that kind of comedic timing. However, in film, I see myself more in the dramatic side.
Yeah.
Funny enough. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because then you do get a lot of dramatic TV shows, which you'd think, obviously I know you look at comedy and light-hearted and that, but
I mean, I auditioned for Transparent for Amazon, the show Transparent.
Yeah.
And that was really nice when I got that script. I didn't get it, but when I got that script, I was so in love with that pilot, you know?
Yeah, because that's just recently gone out, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been out for like 2 years, I think, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I've seen bits,
3 years.
I've seen it on there and that.
It's a great show, and you know.
What's your sort of shows that you spend most of the time watching?
I love Transparent. I love House of Cards.
Yeah.
I love The Crown. Like, I really do try to see a little bit of every
a diverse
genre,
range, rather than just I'm sticking to one thing and obviously seeing that. First time in London, I assume not?
No, it's my third time in London. I have a friend who's a director as well. He's here with me, and
behind the camera over there.
My friend's a director. We've been friends for 27 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's a really talented director. He's living in London, so he was, you know, he invited me, and it just worked out. Then promoting this right now,
and obviously come here and
some support.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Woo! Girl, I don't know how long this night has felt for y'all, but let me tell you, backstage, this is one hell of a night.
That's tonight's cherry.
He's the cherry.
It's time to see what you came here to see.
You're our cherry tonight.
You're the cherry. This is the moment you have all been waiting for. It is time for somebody to get that cherry popped!
Bitch, are you freaking?
Oh. you know?